Hello, everyone. We stand today at a fascinating crossroads, a place where the vibrant, vivid world of comic book mythology converges with the profound, often unsettling depths of philosophy. Our subject? Superman, the iconic Man of Steel, and his unexpected kinship, or perhaps profound divergence, with Friedrich Nietzsche's revolutionary concept of the Übermensch, or Overman. On the surface, the very names spark curiosity. Superman and Übermensch, an identical aspiration, a shared linguistic root. But as we peel back the layers of these powerful symbols, a more intricate and perhaps more illuminating narrative unfolds. Does the Caped Crusader, the beacon of truth and justice, truly embody Nietzsche's vision of a being who overcomes human limitations, creates their own values, and embraces the eternal recurrence? Let us embark on this philosophical dissection. The will to power, restraint as strength. Nietzsche, in Beyond Good and Evil, posits that life itself is will to power, a chaotic, dynamic process of creation and decay, of overpowering and being overpowered, of suppressing and being suppressed. Every drive, he argues, craves mastery, leading it to try philosophizing. Philosophy, in its essence, becomes a tyrannical drive itself, the most spiritual will to power, to the creation of the world, to the causa prima. It's a force that seeks to impose its form, to appropriate, and yes, fundamentally, to exploit. Now consider Superman. He is a being of immense, almost limitless strength, described as possessing near omnipotence. Yet what is his most consistent and defining characteristic? It is his restraint. He actively chooses humility and service over domination. He could easily bend the world to his will, establish himself as supreme ruler, and impose his vision of order. But he doesn't. He acts as a servant, a protector, a symbol. Is this a subversion of Nietzsche's will to power, or a profound reinterpretation? I would argue for the latter. Superman's choice is not a lack of will, but a supremely cultivated will to self-control. He doesn't seek to dominate others, but to master his own boundless power and direct it towards altruistic ends. His strength lies not just in what he can do, but in what he chooses not to do. This act of self-command, this harnessing of his own vast potential, is a higher form of the will to power, a will that manifests as protection, inspiration, and moral guidance rather than conquest. He imposes his form of selflessness onto the world, making it a powerful testament to the idea that true mastery begins within, transforming the very nature of what power means. Self-overcoming, the humanization of the god. Nietzsche's Übermensch is a being engaged in the constant self-overcoming of man. Man, he declares in Thus Spake Zarathustra, is something that is to be surpassed, a rope stretched between the animal and the Superman, a bridge and not a goal. The journey involves striving for increasingly high, rare, distant, mainest states. Kal-El, an alien from Krypton, starts with godlike abilities on Earth. His challenge isn't to become more godlike, but to become profoundly, deeply human. In All-Star Superman, we see him facing his impending death, yet choosing to undertake 12 labors to significantly help both humans and Kryptonians. He is portrayed as emotionally intelligent, thoughtful, and compassionate. His journey is not about shedding his humanity to become a distant deity, but about embracing and perfecting the very essence of human morality and connection. He finds his greatest strength not merely in his powers, but in the depths of his morality and his unwavering connection to humanity. He embodies the overgoing and downgoing that Zarathustra celebrates in those who seek to surpass themselves. The creation of values. Exemplification as legislation. Nietzsche asserted that values are not absolute truths out there, but are actively created by those with the value-creating capacity. True philosophers, he argues, are commanders and legislators. They say that is how it should be. They create values. Their knowing is creating. Their creating is a legislation. Their will to truth is will to power. For Nietzsche, the creator must also be a destroyer and break values in pieces. Superman, at first glance, seems to simply uphold existing human values: truth, justice, the American way. He operates within an established moral framework. However, his actions, especially those depicted in All-Star Superman, transcend mere maintenance. By performing his 12 labors, he doesn't just react to threats. He actively shapes the future, inspires hope, and pushes the boundaries of human aspiration. He doesn't need to break values, because his very existence elevates and perfects them. His dedication, his unwavering compassion, his self-sacrifice, culminating in him becoming a solar consciousness to repair the sun, are not just acts of a hero. They are living examples of new ideals. He doesn't preach a new morality. He embodies it. He literally invents the ideal through his work, much like Nietzsche suggested about artists and philosophers. His existence is a continuous value proposition, inviting humanity to rise to its own highest potential. The Last Man versus the Übermensch, a striving ideal. Nietzsche's chilling prophecy of the last man is a stark warning. This contemptible figure can no longer despise himself. He seeks universal comfort, safety, and happiness, believing that equal rights and sympathy for all that suffers are the pinnacle of virtue. This is the morality of herd animals, leading to the diminishment of humanity into the perfect herd animal. The last man shrinks the world, making everything small. Superman stands as the absolute antithesis to the last man. He does not seek comfort. He actively embraces danger and responsibility. His relentless pursuit of idealism and striving contrasts sharply with the last man's apathy and mediocrity. While the last man blinks, asking, "What is love? What is creation? What is longing?" Superman is love, is creation, is longing. He is the lightning to the last man's blink, a herald of the lightning. He constantly pushes beyond the comfortable, the convenient, the mediocre. He is the higher man who is most solitary, the most hidden, the most different, the person beyond good and evil, the master of his virtues, the one with an abundance of will. He is living proof that humanity's greatest possibilities have not been exhausted. Embracing destiny and eternal recurrence, the endless fight for good. One of Nietzsche's most challenging concepts is the eternal recurrence, the idea of living each moment as if one would wish to relive it infinitely, exactly as it was. It is a profound affirmation of life, including all its suffering and joy. Zarathustra, the teacher of eternal return, urges us to sing now yourselves the song, the name of which is once more, the signification of which is unto all eternity. Superman's fight for justice often feels cyclical, a seemingly endless repetition of threats and rescues. He defeats Lex Luthor, only for Luthor to return. He saves Metropolis, only for new dangers to emerge. In All-Star Superman, even after confronting his own mortality and repairing the sun, he continues to live within it, maintaining machinery to keep it alive. This is not a finite task, it is an eternal vigil. Does Superman embrace this repetition? His continuous return, his unwavering commitment to humanity, even after facing his own death and becoming a solar consciousness, suggests a profound affirmation of his chosen destiny. He doesn't complain about the endless struggle. He dedicates himself to it. This mirrors the spirit of eternal recurrence. a willingness to face the same challenges, to endure the same struggles, for the sheer joy of affirming life and its potential. He is a cosmic Raphael without hands, the higher person whose dormant solution goes into action, tirelessly working and returning. Our call to greatness. So, what does this philosophical exploration of Superman and the Übermensch reveal? Superman is not a direct embodiment of Nietzsche's Übermensch in the crude sense of power for power's sake. Instead, he represents a reinterpretation, a spiritualization of the Übermensch ideal. He shows us that true power is self-mastery and service to a higher ideal, not domination over others. He demonstrates that self-overcoming can mean becoming more profoundly human rather than less, perfecting the virtues within ourselves,